Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and if you have the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 or 10 Plus, you may be considering upgrading the plastic screen protector that you have on your phone with a tempered glass one. So in today's video, we're going to talk about AMFILM's Glass Protector. Not only am I going to show you how to install this product, but we're also going to do a quick comparison between it and the Whitestone Dome glass. Let's get right to it. Now in this video, we're going to do the quick comparison between the Whitestone Dome glass and the AMFILM tempered glass screen protector. Now they have similar technology. This is a two-packer, and they claim that it works with the fingerprint sensor. So we're going to go through a quick comparison of what's in the box, and then what we're going to do is an install, and we're going to test it out and see if this should be your next tempered glass screen protector. Let's get right to it. All right, so let's take a quick look at what we find inside of the box. So what we have here are some well-placed materials. You have a UV solution that comes with a USB, micro USB cord. All right, put that aside. Here we have So here we have a pull tab. We have, it looks like, some leveling bars. We have, these are absorption. They're like cotton to absorb excess liquid to liquids. And then it looks like this is a level bubble. So you notice that my desk is at level. And then here you have this weight. And this weight, from what I've seen, is what you're going to use to place right over where your fingerprint is to make sure that it presses down to make sure that you have a good installation and it works with a fingerprint sensor. Over here we have, take this out. Okay. Over here we have instruction guide. We have an installation tray. Right? I don't know what this is. We'll flip this over to the side. Miscellaneous wipes. Right? And here we have not one but two tempered glass screen protectors. And we'll pull one out so we can see what this looks like. All right. It's interesting that it has already these dots here. And, oh, this is interesting. So take a look at this. Let's get a little closer look at this. I'll put this in an angle so it's not that reflective. It looks like this is the area that your fingerprint is going to be placed on the phone. Right? So that's the fingerprint area. And it kind of has these little micro dots here indicating where you need to place this weight. So this weight is probably going to go right there. So one of the things I want to mention to you is make sure that if you're going to install this product on your phone, that you watch the entire video. Don't do this while you're watching this video and doing your installation. Watch it once. If you need to, watch it twice, then do the install. All right? So just make sure you do that. So here it looks like you have those dots, and it looks like every one or each one of these has the same model. Yep. So you have these look like they're little guiding positions. So that's interesting. All right, let's look at the dome glass. So dome glass has this, and if you've seen my videos, I'll put in the upper right or left-hand corner, there's going to be a little bubble that will show up, and it's going to show you the Note 10 install. That install, flawless. It's on my Note right now. I have another Note right here on the side that I'll bring into camera. So this Note right here has a Whitestone dome glass. We're going to install this on a different Note. Right? So no issues with fingerprint sensors. So if you're interested in the Whitestone, make sure you follow that video completely, instructions, and you'll be fine. Now over here you have this little guide, you have instructions, similar things here, cleaning materials. Again, what you have those alcohol absorption, or not alcohol, the cotton absorption tools, right? With wipes. You have these little tabs, which there may be some in here. We'll see when we open up this package. These tabs are just here to protect any kind of overspill from the speaker. Put this aside. You have this little stopper, which if you watch my video, you'll see how that works. And then what you have is two liquids, just like I have over here. If you make a mistake, you just wipe the glass with the alcohol swipes, dry it off, and then you should be able to use it again. And then what you have is, again, a total different installation method. And then you have here is your glass. So we're going to take this glass out. And we're going to look at this one for a second. So as we remove this glass, and let's make sure this is not shattered. I don't know what's going on here, but it has a little, you see that mark right there? That may be just the plastic. No, it is shattered. This one actually is shattered. So, all right, so that's fine. So this is a shattered one that we're looking at. And you can see here that there's no dots, right? So let's compare the actual thickness of these screen protectors. So this is what this one looks like. And It's kind of hard to tell. I can't, you know, it feels like it's a little bit thinner. This one feels like it's a little bit thinner. Yeah. In my opinion, again, this is not scientific in any way, guys. This is just me touching it here and just, you know, how does it feel? This one feels a little bit lighter, and it also, which means it feels thinner. This one feels a little bit thicker. And yeah, this is definitely a little bit thicker. So here's what they look like. And what you have is the dots here, positioning where your fingerprint sensor is, and there's no dots here. But you'll notice there are dots here at the very bottom. You see these dots? They're kind of like the same dots that you have here, 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 and here. But they have the same cutout. And if we put them right next to each other, they're almost identical in size. Yeah, just slightly different. You can notice up here, so there's some small differences. I'm trying to get that aligned. Put that in an angle because that may be a little reflective. Okay. All right, so we'll put this one aside. Shame that this one broken out of the box, so we'll put that aside there. So again, this is a 2-packer, and the neat thing about this is that this is a little bit lower priced. If you're looking for the price of this item, because prices may vary, in the comment area, actually the description area, I'm going to have a link to the latest price. So if you're interested in the price, check it out, because I think it's around $39 for 2, which is a good price. So again, this is what it looks like in the box. These are the comparisons. A little bit different here because of the installation tray method, and then all the accessories. And then also what you have here, just like the other one, is you have your UV system, right, with the micro USB cable. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go through the prep and we'll do the install. Now, before doing your install, you want to make sure that you're in the right environment. That means no air, no heat, central going on, because you don't want anything moving in the room, no fan, and you want to be in a closed area where there is no one walking by so that there's nothing being stirred up. The second thing that we're going to do here is, you'll notice I have my existing installation of my dome glass on this phone, and I have a new phone that we're going to be using. All right, so this is an Aura Glow, and this Aura Glow has an existing screen protector. So this is the factory screen protector. I just want to show you what's going on here and why I'm switching it. This already has a nick. Let me go ahead and turn that off so you can see it. So see that nick there? And it has some bubbling right here going on. So it is a film one, and that's why we're switching this one out. And what we're going to do is we're going to just grab it on the side like this, like I just did, and then you just peel it away. Okay? And that's what it looks like. That's the kind of protection that you have on it. This is not bad because it's the first, it's a free screen protector. And usually there are not a lot of screen protectors on the market that work automatically with the new phone. So having one on there just gives you some great peace of mind. And you already saw we scratched it. So this is great protection. Now here we have our phone and everything is still pristine. And even though it is pristine, and we'll move this guy right here out of the way. I'll put this one right here. What we're going to do is we're going to wipe it down. So we're going to take the kit that they provided, and we're going to open this up, and we're going to take out some of the things that are in here. And again, I have to remind you, make sure you watch this video once before doing anything. Also, you're going to see that our handles for both Twitter and Instagram are going to show up. Do us a favor, follow us on both Instagram and Twitter. We're trying to grow those channels, and it's another way for you to be notified when new videos become available. So we have our stickers here, and we have our wipes. So the first thing we're going to do, and here's one thing I wanted to highlight too, it does have a speaker tab, and that was one thing that I was concerned with, but it's there. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use the wet wipe that you see here to clean off the screen. And even though this is a brand new and it has nothing on there, I still recommend you wipe it down. And the reason is because there could be some material left over from that screen protector that would interfere with the actual installation. So we're going to wipe it down. Nice. Make sure that it's nice and clean. And I'm going to turn off this phone in a couple seconds too. So we'll get that nice and clean. And I'll move this over to the side. And now I'm going to use the dry wipe. And I'll just open this up. Typically these are lint-free. We'll see in a second. So literally what you're doing is not just drying, but almost polishing. If we were to lift this up right here for a second just to see, I'll move this up like this. And what I'm looking for is to have no dust here. And it looks like it's nice and clean. I don't have any air going on in my room. The next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to prep our area. So we're going to get our tray and we're going to start setting things up. So what you'll notice is that on the tray itself, you do have, put this right above it, you do have these absorption pieces. They're already pre-installed, but you have an extra one for the next install. Okay, so we need that, and we'll put that right here. We also need our little weight. I'm going to put that right there. This is going to tell us if we're level or not, and you can see my desk is level right now. And then what we also have are these installation, I would say, not so much guides, but they go underneath your phone. So what we're going to do is we're going to put one on each side. It's almost like a leveling kit or something that you would use to raise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place one right here, right underneath the camera. And then I'm going to grab another one and do the same thing further down. All right, so we're going to grab this and I'll put one right here. All right, so that's going to go there. If I were to test it and see if I'm level or not, you can see I'm still level. Push that over to the side. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this tray, right? And you notice here it says bottom and this says top. This is the bottom, this is the top. I know it sounds kind of silly, but again, just highlighting that. So what we're going to do is we're going to place this around it. And throughout this process, I'm going to inspect and re-inspect this over and over again. And you notice that as we were working on this and just moving things around, we got some specks on here on the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it one more time. Again, there's no rush here. And this is your time to do it. You want to only do it once. You want to get it right. So I kind of subscribe to the school of measure twice and cut once, if you ever heard that before. So I like making sure that my phone is clean, even if it means going over it a second time. And we'll look at that again. That looks good. Doesn't look like I have anything. Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to shake this out. And I'm going to come back, bottom again, and top, and make sure that that's right. Yep, bottom and top. Pushing down, important that it hits all those corners. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little speaker tab and I'm going to use the actual frame to guide me. Right? It doesn't have to go really far in. The frame is going to guide you. So make sure that it goes right there. And that's to prevent any leakage or spillage. So that looks good. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little tab, slide it in right here. And you can see that it slid in nicely. And before I do that, I'm going to give it one more inspection. Make sure that I don't see anything here. All right, everything still looks good. Slide it in slowly into place. And this you're going to remove. Once you put this in, you want to make sure that you can, insert it and remove it easily, which I can. Now the next thing is to take the actual liquid. Now you could use these little tabs to go over it, but I don't see any specks there, so I'm not going to worry about it. Now the next thing we're going to do is take this vial, open up this side. Don't worry, nothing's going to come out. It's not going to release any liquid until you remove this one right here. So I'm going to eyeball it right in the center, and then I'm going to turn this way, and then liquid is going to come out. So I'm positioning it in the center, and then just opening it up. And then what I like doing is I like tilting the vial to make sure that if there's any excess that it comes out. You're going to see that as I tilt it, I want to get all that liquid out, see how that extra drop came out, and then I'm turning it around just to make sure we have everything. Now before I take it away, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close it up, and this is going to prevent, if there's anything still in there, from falling on my surface. And then I'm going to clean this up like here. Now one point of advice is if a drop came anywhere else, and I'm looking to see if there's anything there, and I notice that there's a speck there. So you want to inspect it again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these tabs, these little stickies. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to lift to get that out. And I'm going to look at it one more time. Remove this. And what you want to make sure is that this is in the center. So if you didn't really eyeball it good, you can always move it a little bit. But it looks good to me. Next step is I'm going to remove the plastic of the screen. And remember, this is the side up, this is the side down. I'm going to place this in place. And it's important that it aligns nicely here. Right? So I'm going to place it right here, just like this. Now the next thing that we're going to do is remove this tab. Now the removal process is very simple, but you have to take your time. Make sure you listen to this. What you don't want to do is pull this tab out too quickly, because if the screen were to splash on top of it, the bubbles are going to disperse and you're going to have pockets everywhere. What you want to do is smoothly take it out slowly, and as the glass makes contact with the liquid, then you'll remove it, right? So make sure you don't yank it out. Make sure it touches the glass first so that it spreads evenly. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. Watch this. I'm going to do it really slowly. And what I'm looking for, you're going to watch this right here. I'm looking for it to touch the glass. Look at how slowly I'm doing this. See it touched? Now that it touched, I can remove. So what it's going to do now is it's going to spread out nice and even. So the next thing I'm going to do is, as it's spreading out, I am going to kind of wait a little bit until it comes over this spot. But right here is let's make sure I see it good. It's kind of like the fingerprint area. So I'm going to put this right here in this area and let the fingerprint, you notice it turned on, so it's kind of, I'm hovering right over my fingerprint, which is spot on. And we're going to let the liquid disperse. Now this process is going to take a couple seconds, 60, maybe 120 seconds, which will be 2 minutes. But the goal is to make sure that this really covers. You notice how we have these corners here that kind of look a little bit white and the rest of it looks black? Don't be in a hurry. If your surface is flat, it will fill up. So what we're going to do is we're just going to let this run for a second and let it make sure that it's there until everything absolutely is covered. Remember, if it has anything extra, you don't have to worry about it, because these little things here are going to absorb it. So as this is getting set up, I'm going to get my my UV light and get it ready. Now check this out. Everything dispersed nicely. You see that there's no light areas anywhere. You'll notice that there is some dust specks. Don't worry about that because that's on top. But what we're going to do next is we're going to put the UV light, turn it on, 15 seconds here, 15 seconds here, 15 seconds here, right? Then what we're going to do is we're going to remove the cylinder, and we're going to cure this area here for 30 seconds. Now one tip, you'll notice how the cylinders is slightly beneath this area. If you have a simple note, like not a note plus, then you'll want to be a little bit higher. But this is kind of like where it's going to be for the fingerprint sensor for the Note 10 Plus. Now, once I've done this 30-second cure, then I'm going to do 60, 60, 60, and then I'm done. So another tip you have is maybe you don't have an area where you can reach to power this thing in. So what I have here is just a battery backup, and this battery backup solution is powered. And it's going to be enough for me to actually power this up. So let me find the power button on this. And then I'm going to turn this on. And then we're going to run it for 15 seconds. So we're going to do 15 seconds. All right, now that 15 seconds is up, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to reset it just in case. And we're going to do 15 seconds more. I'm going to move it to the next one. Cancel my little timer. 15 seconds here. All right, so that gives me my 15 seconds. Remove this. Now I'm going to remove the weight. Just lifting it up like that. I'm going to turn this off and turn it on. I think it's just an easier way. So now what I'm going to do this is for 30 seconds. Okay, we're good. So I'm going to reset now. I'm going to start from the top. I'm going to reset my timer for 60 seconds. And what we're going to do is we're going to start right here from the top. All right. Now one of the things I'm going to do is, since we've already cured this once, is I'm going to remove this tray, just to be on the safe side to make it easier. And what we're going to do is now another 60 seconds here in the middle. Turn this on. So I have that now in the middle. And then the last one is going to be another 60 at the very end, how you set things up. All right, so now we're going to move to the very bottom. All right, we're done. So what we're going to do is just move this over to the side, and we're going to wipe this down and see what things look like. So let's go ahead and put this in an angle. This is what it looks like. Notice no bubbles. Notice nothing underneath the screen. If I were to turn on the phone, that's what it looks like. Pretty solid. Now to test the fingerprint sensors, there's two ways that you can do it. You can try logging in, or you can go in and test your fingerprint sensor. So I'm going into the fingerprint area, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to test it. Notice how there's check added fingerprints. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try holding it like I normally would and see if the fingerprint is recognized. Notice that it's coming out with no match. Now, the good thing about this is that before you react, while it says that there's no match, at least I feel feedback, you know, like the little thump that the fingerprint was being read. So that's a good thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my fingerprints that are here and I'm going to remove it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another fingerprint. Sometimes you have to re-register. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the phone like I normally would and I'm going to press on it. Now notice that while I'm pressing, I'm rotating so I can get multiple impressions of different positions of how my fingerprint is set. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold it how I normally would. And I'm just going to touch it. I'll turn it this way maybe, in case I do one of these things. And I'm going to continue just to press the way I normally would. So I can tell you just by doing this, I'm not pressing harder than I normally would. Everything feels the same. So I'm going to continue, and now I'm going to do some side impressions. So this is what I'll do here. And do it again. All right, so the fingerprint has been added now. So now we're going to test it. Fingerprint 3, fingerprint 3, fingerprint 3. Now one tip I want to give you about unlocking your phone is that you don't have to turn it on to unlock it. All you have to do is press in the area that your fingerprint should be and it unlocks. And you can see that it worked. We'll do it again. And this time I'm going to press in an area that is not going to, oh, let's do this like this. In an area that my finger won't actually be 100% there so we can get an error. Let's see if I can get an error. I'm just playing around just to try to, all right, so there, see how I got, it does not match? So I'm going to do it again. And now it unlocks. I forced that error because I was trying not to put my full fingerprint on it, just to show you how you can unlock it using your finger, and that there is a fingerprint sensor required for login. So guys, that concludes our installation of the AMFILM class of products. So this is their, again, just glass version, very similar to the Whitestone Dome glass, but again has a different installation method. So this gives you an option. Which one do you prefer? I'd love to hear from you in the comment area below.